These are some parts that we've got that need to be powder coated. We're going to do them black so we can put them back on the bike. So we got our little tiny oven here. We've already cleaned the parts, put them in acetone, and then we've heated them up. Alright, so those held a little bit more heat. They've actually started to cure a little bit, but that does help it stick to it. So now that we've got that done, we're going to take our little rack here, throw it back in the oven, and let it cook up to 400 degrees. Alright, so while we're cooking, I want to show you guys a couple things. This is just the kit from Harbor Freight. Nothing special. And that's even the $8 bottle of powder coat that comes from Harbor Freight. It says matte black, but if you go a little heavy on it, it actually turns out gloss when it cooks. And one of the great things about powder coat is how easy it cleans up. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that for cleanup. If you'd have done that with paint, it would have been everywhere, and you would have had to have everything covered up, and the cleanup would be a mess. So powder coat is more durable, and as you can tell, it's a hell of a lot easier to clean up. Alright, so while that's cooking, we'll get started on getting our wheel sets together. One of the things I want to show you guys that come in. Got us a brand new set of nice Excel rims. So we'll be getting these put together. Watch this one be black. Nice. The parts have been in the little oven here for about 50 minutes, so it took them a little bit to get up to temp, and then 20 minutes to cook out time. So we're sure that they're cooked good. Get those set right here so they can cool down. I know it's kind of a makeshift rack, but I think those turned out pretty good. We'll get a better look at them once they cool down. Alright, so swing arm axle blocks, or swing arm protectors, the rest of the linkage, and brake holder. I think those turned out pretty good. So next we'll get the linkage put together, get the swing arm on, get the rear tire together, and get it hung so that our weight's a little balanced as we keep putting everything together, because if I do too much more on the front, she's going to try to tip over. Alright, so we got everything laid out to put the swing arm together and the linkage. One of the common fail points on these old 250s, you can see how thin this area here is. With the flex of the drive side, they'll start to crack right in here. So what I did was put some additional material around that side of the swing arm. It will not interfere with the chain guide, and that way hopefully keep that from stress cracking on us. But we're going to get we've got swing arm linkage bearings, or the swing arm bearings, bolts, linkage, and we've unpackaged and sorted out everything as far as where they go. So we're going to start working on getting this together. Flat side out. one of the things I wanted to go over. I took a picture of this before we took it apart. And thankfully, because when you look at the diagrams, they've got the components, but they do not label out exactly how they go in there. The way they've got it broke out, they don't have any arrows, and some diagrams are like that, and it would take forever to figure out exactly how all that went back. But thankfully we took a picture of it, so we've got an idea of what we're doing. Alright, so these arms bolt into here, and then the linkage goes into here, and these top holes here are for the swing arm bolt to reinforce that. Got swing arm and linkage mounted. Got our inserts powder coated back in. She's starting to look like a bike again, finally. So we'll go ahead and we got the bearings in the freezer. We'll go ahead and warm these up, throw the bearings in them. Now that's the way you want it to work. Let's not forget our spacers. Alright, we're down below the ring for the seat clip. Alright, so bearings are in both those. We're going to let those cool down while we get our spokes laid out. We're going to do the rear first. Now we're going to run them all in till there's only about a thread or two showing. We'll start with the top so that it picks it up. You don't want to do them to where they're touching, because then you're going to pull one side over and you'll have it completely off center. So it's still loose. We're just bringing all of them in to about the same measurement, just getting them closer. All right, now we've got all the bottoms, and it's still a little loose, but it's pretty well centered up. And now we can put it on the stand, start working our way around and getting it true. All right, so we got every spoke run up to right at the last thread. They're still a little loose. All the spokes are seated properly. I mean, there's still a little bit of play on them, but so now what we're going to do is start back over at our start point right here and just continue working them in. I know it's tempting right now to just run them in, but if you do that, it's going to pull it off, and then it's going to be a hell of a time trying to get it back straight. One, two, three. All right, we'll go to the next one. All right, last set. All right, now we're going to start over. We're still a little loose, but we're bringing it in. So basically we'll get them all finger tight at this point. One, two, three. So we finished back up here. We're on our second one, third one now. 1, 2, 3. Last round. Hey, we are pretty straight. So now we're just going to start working tension on all of them. And we're going to go about a quarter turn on each one. They're all snug. And we're pretty straight. But we'll go ahead and put the dial indicator on here. Alright, so on these stands, when you put the dial indicator, they want to kind of shift and run off the other side. It's just a Harbor Freight stand. So put a piece of metal in it. We're about 20 thousandths off total. So if we do our final tighten, we'll pull that into line, and then we should be ready to go. we're within a thousandth of an inch, and they're all tight, so we'll get the front wheel done. Alright, same process with lacing these. The spokes on this one are all the same, so there's no differences. So we'll go ahead and get the inside spoke, which this is the one closest to the outer edge. Those are down in close, so that would be your inside. Go ahead and get all of them in, and we'll get them set in the rim. And start our outer just like we did on the rear. Back tires in.